Just the size of Slavoj's balls right now is just incomprehensible. This is incredible. Alright, so here we have Slavoj Zizek, also known as Haiti. He was a very good player back in the day. Now he's okay. I mean, he used to play recently, about a month ago at 2k plus level. Recently he's been losing a bit of rating though, so yeah, he's just trying to get back into Arena. But he is a very good player. You should know him if you played a long time ago, but if you don't, that's fine. He is Berbers here. Berbers is actually quite a strong civ. It's a little bit vulnerable early game, but it's, especially when it gets, later Castle Age, it's a powerhouse. If you have options that you want to make something like full Cavalier against, absolutely demolishes most combinations, so Berbers is actually quite a good civ. On the other side, we have Mratin. You see him around quite a bit. I don't know too much about him, but I think 1860 is quite low rating for him. Maybe he's on a losing streak. He's probably 19 plus 2k on reasonable days. He is Aztecs, of course, Aztecs being a really strong civ, and this is probably going to be quite a good, demonstration of Aztecs. Terror didn't really show that, but we're going to go for this one again this time.
Throw a little shade there.
Look at the maps. I mean, what do you think of these maps?
Well, Mratin, his gold's in a good position. Stone, a little exposed, but it's to the left, so I'm not too worried about it. Looking at the back of his map, he's got 2 golds in there, so it's an okay looking map from him. They're a little close together. And gold on the right for Zayak. 2 forward stones for him. He's going to be Berber, so he's going to want that stones. No extra resources in the back for him, so I definitely prefer Mratin's map. With Zayak's map, I might go a little bit more aggressive with it.
It's probably easier if you call player 1 Haiti, but I think it might make more sense if you call him Slavoj, just for the sake of...
Sure. Yeah,
just because people might not know him. But I'm not sure if he really wants stone. Camel Archers vs a Meso Civ is a bit dubious.
Well, I think it could work, but yeah, not the best option in the world. Obviously, with the Aztecs, you're kind of thinking... The first thing that you think of is how do you stop the monk rush? And I think that maybe some light cavalry might be a good opening, or scouts might be a good opening for the Berber player here. We didn't see that the last time that the Aztecs was playing with John Slow, but hopefully we'll be able to see that. That's certainly the strategy I would go for if I was the Berbers.
Yeah, I mean, I would, as Berbers, I would open scouts and definitely try to take into light cavalry as soon as I can, because, you could actually make them in Castle Age. You could do a Blacksmith Stable up FC, but then just start making scouts in Castle Age to get the 15% cheaper cavalry bonus. It's really nice, but also you got slightly faster farms because your villagers move that bit faster. I think I did it once at 28 plus 2. You end up with approximately about 100 food extra. It's a really nice bonus. It's a little bit, it's not that underrated, but especially late game as well, you end up with a good few villager advantage with your economy. It's a nice little bonus. Not quite Aztecs though.
Not quite Aztecs, yeah, but I like it for the luring boars. Luring boars are a lot easier. We're going forward for tower rushes. Certainly that makes things a lot easier. But yeah, I definitely would like to see the light cav. Certainly that discount on food is really going to help them out in any situation that we see them in. So right now, players just going through their opening builds and waits to be seen what kind of strategy they'll do in Feudal Age. Late game, who do you think you give this to?
Sorry?
Late game. Say if this goes to late game, which civilization?
Probably Berbers. It's a bit odd to say, but you won't hear this often, but the biggest weakness for Aztecs is heavy cavalry.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
It's because, they do have really good monks, but, it's unrealistic to expect that you could have 30 monks and you could just suddenly start converting, up to 50 cavalier. It's not going to happen. But Berbers can really mass quite a lot of cavalier, and if they get to that point, they could really do some damage. Only pikemen from the Aztecs, Garden Wars still makes them quite strong against, things in general, but it's not ideal. And, their Arblasts die, their Jaguars die, their Eagles die. Cavalier is a really good option here for Berbers. But, Aztecs can really win early game, so...
The Berbers really, I think their strength is really in massing their cavalry and having a lot of cavalry, having a nice horde. And, of course, one of the weaknesses of the Aztecs, they don't get halberdier. So I think certainly that would be a very good late game option. So we have a little bit of a dynamic here where the Aztecs have a better probably early game, or Castle Age if you consider that early game, and the Berbers might have advantage late game. But regardless, we still have this resource problem for Slavoj?
Slavoj, yeah.
Slavoj.
It's
Oh.
some female celebrity, I don't really know, from wherever the hell he's from. It's
Yeah, so Slavoj is really going to have to try to defend his resources. That's going to be the big problem for him in the early game.
Yeah, the thing I would say about Haiti is we saw from the Portuguese game, hand cannoneers coming out. Berbers, I've never really thought they should. I thought the camel archers shouldn't really be that nerfed, but they should lose HC, but it didn't go that way. But Berbers do have hand cannoneers, so if they want to go their own champions, for example, and we might even see own champs or jaguars coming from the Aztec player, then Berber player can always go hand cannoneers to back up their champions. But that depends on how good their economy is going to be, so I think Slavoj really wants to head for a really hefty economy here, because if he gets it, then he has the counters for Aztecs.
And Mratin up way faster than Slavoj. Has the deer, checking his resources. I think he'll be able to pull this off. And
Yeah, 25 plus 2 is pretty standard for something like Aztecs.
Why do you think Slavoj is so late to the next age?
Because Berbers, I mean, it's not that big of an eco bonus early on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing, 27 plus 2. If he's going for something like Scouts, that's actually fairly reasonable. The one thing I don't like too much about having a quick look at Mratin's map is his main gold. It's actually quite hard for him to wall his main gold, safely against ranged units. It's a bit too close to the front of that wood line. You can't wall from the wood line towards his TC to defend it, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And there we go, barracks coming up from Slavoj, just kind of like we expected. He'll probably go with the stable after this for some early scouts, take some map control, try to pick off a few monks, and maybe steal some of those relics early game.
Yeah, it's definitely very strong. I mean, you want a 27 plus 2 for scouts. Timotheus, Timo, he usually does 27 plus 2 and he has a good eco bonus if, well, reasonable slightly. But then you see things like Melkor. Melkor always does 28 plus 2 scouts. That way you have the economy to do exactly what you want. And it's actually really good to have that kind of economy when you're doing scouts. So
Yeah, certainly Slavoj.
it's better to go higher builds. 26 plus 2 is not really... I don't agree with it, really.
Slavoj certainly floating a lot of resources. He's still got almost 300 wood in the bank extra. Gonna have enough gold, gonna have a good amount of food. And with all that extra wood, should be able to seed up quite a few farms to help him produce some scouts.
Yep, I'm not sure if he's going to save making scouts till he's imp or if he's going to make some when he's still until he's castle. I think he might make some when he's on the way up. Maybe just one, just so he could do some sniping. But
I think certainly with this faster castle time for Mratin, it makes sense to make at least one or two in the feudal age.
I mean, it always makes sense to add one or two. But what you usually would do is you would just add two unless they're doing anything else. Having 3 scouts in total is huge. Not only can you scout the whole map. Actually, speaking of that, we should probably check the scouting real quick. Pretty mediocre from both players, I would say.
I'd say same. They see some of the map, but not all the map. And I can see most of the relics. So there we go, Mratin up to the next age. Gonna drop down double monastery, just like we saw John Slow in the last game. As well, Mratin keeping his eagle behind the wall to not get it picked off by the scout. That's something I'm noticing now. And Slavoj coming forward with a villager, actually. Wonder what that villager's gonna do.
For Siege Workshop, maybe?
Here's the thing, though, it doesn't have loom. And here's the eagle moving out in the castle age. Could get picked if Mratin sees it. And as well, there's a wolf there. Oh. And now Mratin's gonna see it. That he sees the siege workshop. The wolf's gonna move in too. This is a horrible scenario. As Slavoj's gonna lose that villager, 100%. The eagle kind of turned around in the last second. One more hit. Oh my god, that was close. Still the wolf's on the tail. Oh, that was so close. 1 HP left. That would have been a disaster for Slavoj. And what a ballsy play. Even going to go out with a knight now. Make sure you have the push to talk on.
Yeah, I was just having a sneezing fit. That was...
And even going to pick off the monk. This is a perfect start from Slavoj with what strategy he's chosen to go for. Picking off a monk, picking off the eagle. Still got 3 scouts here, and the knight.
The knight is actually quite a nice addition. I don't see the monsters working too well, but you know, maybe you could open with a lot more monks. I think a lot of monks you could probably pull something off here, but Slavoj is now adding a second TC. He's actually quite heavy on gold, so I think maybe he might try 2 TC this, but he might add a third one if he sees he actually can do some damage and still have the economy.
This is kind of funny. Slavoj assumed that villager would have died, so he set the rally point to the town center outside, so he had that villager walk all the way outside and realized that his buddy's still alive, so he went back.
You never know. I see Sanctity coming in from Mratin though. He wants to actually do something about this.
Yeah, well, I assume he's gonna go redemption right away. With the option of redemption for the Aztecs, I kind of question the Siege Workshop. Is there any situation where this works out for Slavoj going Mangonel from the Siege Workshop against Aztecs?
Yeah, you only really need 1 Mangonel. It's better to open with the Mangonel than with the Ram if it's quite late in Castle Leech.
Because, yeah, but I just worry about it against the monks.
So it's already worth it, and then you can just add Rams and Skull like or whatever you want to do to counter the monks. My curiosity here is whether that Mratin is going to show the monks early. Yes, he is. And a nice Mangonel deletion. But from that, I'm fairly sure Slavoj was able to see the HP of the monk to guess the upgrades. Obviously, Sanctity and Redemption, so 55 HP. So, you know, we're going to see monks, but 3 TC from Slavoj. Are we seeing a third one yet? Third from Mratin. We're seeing a third one now from Slavoj, so... I mean, Mratin is way ahead, and also he's Aztecs with a decent number of monks with Redemption, so... I think he's looking at the favourite to win right now.
Yeah, I like the early engagement from Slavoj, but so far the Siege Workshop hasn't done anything for him. He's fallen quite a ways behind on villages. Obviously, he's had to invest in the extra building for the stable. And Mratin, way ahead in economy. And he's starting to build up some of his walls in the back as well. Luckily, Slavoj should be able to get a few relics at least, and that'll help his economy a little.
Slavoj is going to get 4 relics, and I think that makes the Siege Workshop worth it, to be honest, because... You know, he forced redemption at the same time as basically just delayed the monks from going to get the relics. So I think it was a reasonable investment, especially it plays well towards the late game. If Slavoj is able to turtle this one quite a bit and just doesn't die in early imp to Mratin after Mratin's boom is, you know, over and he's starting to push, then he does have all those late game options we talked about to open with. So I think it puts him in a good position.
Well, part of it is that he's got the relics, and another part is that the Aztec player doesn't have the relics. So maybe investing a lot to make sure that the Aztecs doesn't get the relics might be a good option late game. But yeah, so Mratin probably going to go for a faster Imperial Age. Probably going to go Eagle Warrior, I imagine. I can't imagine another unit to go for. And I like this outpost from Slavoj. Maybe even a few more as well, just to see what his opponent is doing. Scouting is pretty difficult on Arena because of those walls, but whatever you can get, great. Pretty peaceful boom from these players. Look at this! Oh my god, look at the goal from Mratin. Oh god. You see the gold, Mr. GPN?
For the 1.6k?
Yeah. My god.
Yeah.
Not the best play.
Well, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what he was doing. He was overmining the stone when he added that TC on it. The gold, I mean. But the relic isn't quite doing it for him. I kind of want to see what the relic gold is already, though.
Well, it can't just be from one relic, yeah. But here we go, Imperial Age from Mratin.
I just checked.
What is
Mratin
it?
has 277 gold from the one relic, which is more than Slavoj has so far.
Yeah, and he's got 3 right now, although they just got in the monastery, of course. But Mratin up to the next age, going to have a castle eventually. as he transitions to stone, but right now on the cards, it's going to be Eagle Warriors and Monks. Should be a fairly strong early Imperial Age. That's where the Aztecs are really strongest, early Imperial Age. And Slavoj investing into some armor from his cavalry as well. Very heavy on stone. Hopefully he'll be up to the next age shortly as well. But maybe he's investing into some sort of push right now.
Well, I like this. The heavy amount of light cav is a really nice investment. I mean, have you seen how Melkor plays most games where VS this kind of situation, he would just add in lots of knights, you know, like full castle age knights. It's actually really strong to do that, especially with VS Aztecs. I mean, he doesn't quite have enough monks to convert, you know, 15 knights. The Eagles aren't going to be able to do anything, even in Imperial. But I don't know. Knowing Slavoj, I think he might want to imp quite fast. Is that yeah, he's building a market, so he's wanting to fix his economy.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you have knights, cavalry, or paladin. Monks will be as evenly effective. So it doesn't really matter with respect to that. And knights are pretty okay against Eagle Warriors, best but not the worst. And we should see a castle coming up from Slavoj. Let's see where he puts it. That's a pretty big question. I think he's going to put it right between the gold and stone, where he can hopefully maintain control of those.
A couple of things I don't like here. Slavoj is almost ready to up. I would probably sell just to up that a little bit faster, because you're VS someone who's, you know, I mean, he might sell some resources if he's still not up by the time that Mratin hits him. But I think he would probably like to at this point, because he's not invested that heavily into Castle Age.
Oh my god, look at that castle.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
He could get it, but this is a risky play. He can get that castle.
I think he probably will get this one if the villagers don't get converted, but Mratin risks so much if he tries to convert the villagers instead of the light cav knights.
This is just such a risky play. If he could get the mangonels, that would be great. That looks like they're going to start to convert right now. Going to convert the villager. Knights gotten converted. There's 4 villagers just right next to the castle that are building stables. They should be building the castle. Counter castle coming up from Mratin. This was is it a terrible decision? It's hard to tell. I wish he brought those villagers forward.
Just the size of Slavoj's balls right now is just incomprehensible. This is incredible.
Why does he not bring those villagers forward? That could be the difference in this game. Those 4 villagers building the stable. Now he realizes it. Castle's going to be up for Mratin. It's really close. Really close.
It's not going to be up.
Castle's up. It's going to focus down the villagers. 95%. Is it going to be a down castle? 96? 97? Oh, last second Mratin not focusing down the villagers and the castle's up. Wow.
Oh, that's just disgusting. That's that was my insides just popping. That was nice. But let's take a quick look at just the situation right now. Slavoj is not an Imperial. If he gets, you know, enough +2 knights in here, then he could actually, you know, counter Trebs. He could do quite a lot of economy raiding. There is no way at this point that Mratin can actually wall against anything, but he can, however, make units. But Mratin is not making any back buildings. He's not making any back monasteries to make monks outside the range of that castle. I think Mratin's actually kind of screwing himself by not making any military buildings to build units back that aren't going to die to the castle. That's pretty nice.
Well, you can't use those monasteries anymore because there's a castle right there. Luckily, we do have a trebuchet out, so actually we'll be going somewhere eventually. How many monks do we have out right now? We have 2 monks out. We have quite a few pikemen. So I think this is enough for Mratin right now to really push this back. And this is a big investment from Slavoj. He's fully invested in the Castle Age, has no gold in the bank anymore, so he's going to try to put the nail in the coffin right now. And luckily, we talked about how the Aztecs don't get halbs. This is all they have. All they have is pikemen, even in the Imperial Age. But 2 great conversions on those knights will push back Slavoj for now. Really tense time in this part of the game.
Pretty unfortunate castle's going down. I think maybe he donated a bit too many knights, not enough villagers to build that castle. He did have the balls, but he didn't go all in. A little bit odd.
Yeah, and there's the G. Right there.
GG. Singular G.
Yeah. Yeah, so, well, that escalated pretty quickly.
I think it's 9 petards to take down the standard castle without any upgrades for it. I think it's 9.
Yeah, that was certainly something I thought about, going petards, but that could have been useful. Yeah, he had the balls. I would have liked... And just a little bit better, moving those villages a little bit early, getting the castle up earlier could have really changed the game. This decision to go into Castle Age, all in Castle Age, once that castle was up, looks like it was the wrong decision.
I mean, he did have the resources to make more knights, which is the problem. Because, if he sent in all those villagers instead of building the stables, he would have had the castle up, he probably would have had a better position. But at the same time, he could also afford to have more stables to make more, +2 knights. And I think if he had that at the same time the castle was up, he might have probably won.
Yeah, window opportunity there, but didn't take advantage of. Alright.
I want to have a quick look at these achievements, actually.
Yeah, let's look.
Oh, the relic gold. I mean, 1 relic to 4, and we're still seeing that much of a difference. It's only twice as much when you've got 4 times as more relics. It's
Yeah, big difference.